Welcome back to Sawtooth Tactical. Do you need night vision? Do you really need any of this stuff? Well, I think kind of so. I think that it is very important for a prepared citizen, for an American, the Second Amendment, to own at least a good, reliable AR, a good, reliable handgun. And I do think that night vision can go along with that. So welcome to episode 3 of this night vision series. We're going to be doing 6 videos in total because they actually extended the period that I get to keep these by 2 weeks. Pretty sweet. So the final video will be the full review of this, the Rix Tactical RNV31 dual tube white phosphor night vision device here. But I've been using this now for 3 weeks and I've used it every single day. I haven't missed a single day. Sometimes I've used it just to take out the garbage, but most days, especially lately, I've been going on night hikes by myself. I live in a place that I can do that. Literally right behind my house, is the mountains, which is pretty cool. And the more I use this, the more I start to think that I'm not sure that I can live without it. So the reason why I ask if you need night vision, if you need night vision, if I need night vision, it's one of those things that I didn't really know that I needed until I had it. And technically, like I said, do you really need it if nothing really bad ever happens? Maybe not. But I do think that it is a very important part of your kit, of being prepared. And when you look at someone like me, you see all these firearms behind me. Well, I could have foregone a couple firearms in order to afford nods. And that's kind of the point that I want to make in this video is that, I'm sure that a lot of you are like me and probably have a lot of guns, which is great. I think that the more guns that you have, the better. That's the whole point of this channel. And I totally get that it's nice to have a lot of different guns. I had someone comment recently on one of my videos that you don't need all that. All you need is 2 AR-15s and a pistol is what he said. Well, sure, but I like to have all these. It's nice to have different things. I like having an AK, even though I don't really consider it my go-to-war rifle. That would be one of these two. But I love the AK. I like to have different pistols. They shoot differently. They're 4 different things. I've got carry guns, and I've got range guns, and I've got home defense guns, and I've got long range guns, and I've got short range guns. They're for different purposes, but they all do cost money that could be spent on night vision. So I think the biggest thing that holds people back from getting nods is the cost. Night vision is expensive, but it's something that I think is worth taking advantage of just because you can get night vision in the United States of America. I think that you should. If you can afford it, I think that you should, and I think that you can afford it. Now, obviously, I don't speak for everyone, but I didn't think that I could afford night vision for a long time, and I've realized that I can. So just these right here. This is where we start when we talk about affordability. This is a fully featured night vision binocular device. When I say fully featured, it's dual tubes, white phosphor, articulating. It's got an IR illuminator. It's got auto pod shut off. So you put them like that and they shut off, or you rotate them up, they shut off. It's got bright source protection. And all the features. It's got your IPD stops that are thumb screws, really easy to use. Everything about this is very easy to use. Well, most binocular white phosphor articulating devices cost closer to $10,000. Now, of course, that depends on the housing, depends on the tubes, the glass, everything else. But Rix Tactical has come to the market with these for, well, this exact one is $4,659. They have a cheaper model. They have a green phosphor model for $4,199, $4,200 for dual tubes. And then they've got more of a PVS 14 style monocular for less than that. But I do think that the dual tubes are worth the extra money. The nice thing about articulating is I've been able to try them as a single tube if I wanted with either eye. And I've gone around and tried that. And I gotta say, having the dual tubes really is a lot better. We're gonna get a little bit more into this after a quick word from our channel partner. This video is sponsored by Aura. How important is privacy to you? Well, to me, it's actually very important, especially the older that I get. You have, a digital signature that follows you. And unfortunately, or fortunately, depending how you look at it, so much of life is online now. And if you don't have something like Aura protecting you, well, then you just have a lot of your own personal information out there. And people that, are not very honest have access to that. There are data brokers on the dark web and just the regular internet that are out there finding your information, and then they're selling it to scammers and to, spam companies that, call you with stuff you don't want to hear about and send you emails. And, I have gotten very sick of getting spam, but the biggest thing is also scammers. They take that information and they get them from data brokers, and they use that information to try to scam you. I've been really surprised before when I've gotten calls from scammers how accurate the information that they had about me was, which, makes it seem like it's something legit when it's not. Well, I've had Aura for 8 months now, and I don't get spam calls anymore, and I haven't gotten calls from scammers in that 8 months. Aura is a really awesome service. You can set it up in a matter of minutes. It's very affordable. It gives you a VPN. It gives you, data broker removal. That's the big one to me. But all kinds of other services that help protect your privacy online, you get all that, and it's only $12 a month. But if you use my link down below, aura.com/sawtooth-tactical, you get to try it out for free for 14 days. That's 2 weeks. See if you like it and decide if you want to keep it or not. Check it out, aura.com/sawtooth-tactical. So as we were saying, we were talking about the cost of these because this one here is less than $5,000. And I know that that sounds like a lot of money, but if I put the suppressor on this gun, this rifle was about $5,000. Now, I already own a bunch of rifles. Do I need another rifle, another high-end rifle more? Or do I need night vision? I think that that's the way to look at it. If you already have a good, reliable AR, you already have a good, reliable carry gun, and maybe a bigger, more shootable pistol, well then maybe instead of getting another gun or another 2 guns, depending, how expensive of guns you're into, maybe night vision is the way to go. Now, we were just talking about pricing right before, the word from the channel sponsor there. So these are the 14 to 1600 FOM white phosphor model. Now, I did the math on them with the signal to noise ratio, and these are like 1670 FOM is what I got. So they are a little bit over 1600. Now, obviously, you can get L3 Harris unfilmed tubes that are 2500 plus FOM. Elbit tubes, really good also. Photonis Echoes even that are Gen 2 plus, just like these. So there's Gen 3 night vision. That's going to be your L3 Harris, your Elbit tubes. And then there's Gen 2 plus. Now these are Gen 2 plus. This is the only night vision that I do have experience with. But the Gen 2 Plus has impressed me quite a bit. And so what I think that I want to say in this video is that you don't necessarily need the most expensive high-spec tubes to have a very usable night vision device. I've used this in many different kinds of lighting conditions by now. I've had them for 3 weeks. I've used them under the full moon, which is like incredible, but also on very dark nights. Last night was a clear night, but no moon, but I could see the stars really well. And I took a hike out into the mountains behind my house, and I was able to see very, very well. And it tricks you a little bit. You get very confident walking around in these because you can see just fine. But I like to test myself. I get way out there in the mountains. I'm by myself, and this is mountain lion country, and this is mountain lion season. When the snow starts covering the mountains, they like to come down into town because they get hungry. And I'm going up into the mountains, kind of right by town. just one of those things where you gotta, mitigate your risks a little bit. Now I do go out there with a firearm on me, but it's just my concealed carry gun because I kind of gotta walk down the street through town before I get out there. I'm not gonna go out all kitted up with a freaking Mark 18 slung ready to go. I think if I was walking down the street with this helmet and night vision on and my Mark 18, I'm pretty sure that the cops would show up. Maybe I'm wrong. I live in Idaho. People are pretty cool here about firearms. But point being, I get out there and then I put them up. And it is dark and kind of scary, to be quite honest. You realize that you're out there in the middle of the mountains in the pitch black darkness by yourself. And it's kind of gnarly. You put these back on, you can see perfectly and you can navigate out of there just fine. Now, one thing I have thought about, since I have been using these so much, I bet I've so if I've had them for 3 weeks, I've used them every night. Over 20 days I've been using these daily. Some days, like when I went out shooting with them last weekend, I was under them for hours. Some days, 10 minutes. Most of these last few nights out hiking in the mountains, between a half an hour and an hour. Well, it's supposed to last about 20 hours on one AA battery. So I might be getting close. It does give you it'll let you know when the battery's getting close to dying, which is good. But I think it might be smart to start carrying an extra AA with me, just in case, because I would hate to lose my ability to see way up there in the mountains in the dark. That'd be kind of gnarly. But that's also another point that I want to make. These are not only for shooting. Now, shooting under nods is awesome. And it was one of the most fun range sessions that I've had in a long, long time, was when I went out shooting on Saturday. Now, I tried to do it. I tried to time it with the full moon. But my dumbass went out there at about 5. It's getting toward winter time, so the sun goes down early, so that I could set up all my steel targets before it got too dark. And then I put on my battle belt and my kit and my Mark 18, and I was ready to go. And I waited for it to get dark. And then I tried to film myself, and I'll put in some footage right now. And as you can see, you can't see anything except for the muzzle flash. I could see perfectly fine, and I was hitting the target without a problem. But the thing is the full moon, where I was shooting, is in a valley. And so the full moon didn't come up over those hills till after 7. By the time I had my targets packed up, which, to be honest, was nice and easy with the night vision on. And as I was driving out of there with no headlights on, with the night vision on, which is also a very cool experience in itself, well, then the full moon finally started coming up. And the whole reason I went out there last weekend to shoot was to do it under the full moon. Pretty beautiful out here under night vision. But even though I was out there before the moon came up, when it was very, very dark and also very cold, I was able to see my target and passively aim under an EXPS2 EOTech, which is not the night vision model, doesn't have the night vision button. I just turned the reticle way down, and I was able to passively aim and hit targets. And I had a great time. But the cool thing is that you can use these for so much more. So your firearms, you can really, the only chance you get to go out and use them is when you can get out to the range and go shoot them. You can't go out in your backyard and just start popping off rounds. I mean, depends where you live. If you live on a big ranch or something, sure. But if you live in town, probably not. You can't just go walking around in the neighborhood with your guns out. I mean, you can, but it might not be the smartest idea if you don't want to talk to the cops, whether it's legal or not, which, many places it is. Open carry is legal, but it's still, you're going to draw unwanted attention to yourself. Now, I probably am still drawing some unwanted attention to myself walking around with these at night. I've been trying to stay off the main roads just because I'm probably getting a reputation at this point as that weirdo that walks around with all this gear on his head every night around here. But I just can't help myself. These things are so cool and so exciting to me that it's worth going out every single night just to experience them under different lighting conditions and to get more experience with them. Because just like anything else, just like going out and shooting your firearms, the more you do it, the better you get at it. And so I want to get good at this. So I'm doing it as much as I possibly can. And I've gotten very, very comfortable with them by now. I've got my helmet, the weight set up very comfortably. And yeah, it doesn't bother me at all to walk around with these on for a long time. And I think that that's one of the reasons, another reason to get it, is because it may be a significant investment to get into, but there's a lot of stuff you can do with them. You can use them all the time. Whereas, like I said, with your guns, you can really only use them when you have time to go to the range. Well, with your nods, they don't have to be just for shooting. Going hiking, going out on my daughter's trampoline in the backyard at night, stargazing, looking at the stars under night vision is absolutely incredible. In fact, even just the clouds and the skyline, it's just really cool to see the world at night. It's a part of the world that you don't normally get to see. And the tired old phrase, it's a superpower that you can buy, is very true. And it is a really cool superpower to have. Like I said, when I'm out there and I flip them up and realize how dark it is, I realize that out there in that dark, and I'm wearing a black jacket, I'm basically invisible, but I can see everything just fine. That is really cool. But they're also more than just fun. So for a long time, night vision was looked at as a major tactical advantage. If you had night vision, you had the advantage at night over people that don't. Well, I've been seeing lately a lot of stuff online. People are saying, well, night vision has become so popular that you don't have the advantage anymore because everybody has night vision. I'm not so sure how true that is. To be honest, I'm the only person that I know personally that has night vision. And I know a lot of people that have guns. But the thing is, even if that was true, well, then you don't want to be the one with the disadvantage. If everyone else can see in the dark and you can't, then you're at a huge disadvantage. If we ever were looking at the kind of situation that we never want to find ourselves in, or we actually have to use these things on the wall behind me, well, you want to be able to be effective in the day and at night. I mean, that's why we put weapon-mounted lights on our guns, right? Because bad things do happen at night. Well, weapon-mounted lights are great, but night vision is way better. I mean, you have to have both. You don't have to, but I want to make a case for night vision because since getting this, I do not want to not have night vision at this point. It's, besides being another tool in the toolbox, which it absolutely is, just like these are tools, and a very powerful tool at that. The ability to see at night cannot be overstated how much of an advantage that could be. But at the same time, it's also a lot of fun. Everyone that you show these to, that you have them put them on and take a look out in the dark, is absolutely amazed. My dad was absolutely amazed by them. My daughter loves them. I'm about to take them. I'm going on a trip this week for Thanksgiving to see my family. And I told my brother about these. He can't wait to check them out. Night vision is just very cool. But it's also, I think, an important thing to have if you want to be a prepared person. If you're the kind of person that has firearms just in case, well, I think having night vision just in case is just as important. Maybe not as important as your first carbine, your first pistol, but maybe more important than your fourth or fifth one. So I think that this is something that everyone should have. If you can't afford it, put it on the credit card and save up. Don't be irresponsible. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give me a like. Let me know down in the comments what you think. Do you think night vision is worth the financial investment? Do you actually have experience with it? Let me know. I would love to hear from you guys. And from Sawtooth Tactical, stay strapped or get clapped.